Rock and Roll Geek Show 765.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Wednesday, April 26, 2017, when I'm recording this show, and it is 7:41 p.m. Before we get started, I'm going to take a sip of this fine Tecate. This is my second. This is either the second or the third Tecate of the day. Either way, it's the best. Okay. I have not done a show in a while, so I figured I might as well do a show tonight because I'm going out of town tomorrow. I'm going to go see my friend Joe Klein. Joe Klein, actually I have a Butler's gig on Saturday, but Joe Klein called me up and said, hey, it's the Laughlin River Run, and I have comp tickets to see Cheap Trick. They're playing the River Run this year, and I got comp tickets and a grand suite at one of the hotels on the strip of Laughlin in Laughlin, Nevada. And I would like you to come. So I am going to go see my good friend Joe Klein, and we're going to hang out I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'll probably meet up. I have to fly into Las Vegas. I'm going to take a shuttle, and by the time I get to Laughlin, which is about an hour and a half outside of Las Vegas, it'll probably be pretty close to nighttime, but he gets comped everything in Laughlin because he spends a lot of his, I don't know if you know who Joe Klein is, but he's the guy who did my show open, and he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for quite a while, and I love the man. And anyway, he spends a lot of time at these casinos. He lives in Bullhead City, which is right across the river from Laughlin. So he gets comped a lot of stuff. And so he knew I was such a Cheap Trick fan, so he offered me to go, and I said, how can I say no to my good friend Joe Klein? I'm looking forward to seeing Cheap Trick. This is probably about my 150th time seeing them. It's at the River Run. If you don't know what the River Run is, it's the second largest biker rally next to Sturgis. It's the biggest in the country next to Sturgis. So a bunch of bikers will be there. Willie Nelson's playing the same time at a different venue, so maybe they'll all go see Willie Nelson. I don't know, but I'm guessing since it's one of these kind of things that Cheap Trick will probably do a greatest hit set, which I'm not thrilled about that because I've seen a lot of Cheap Trick greatest hit sets, but you never know. Sometimes they surprise, and maybe I'll see Rick Nielsen and the boys and Robin Zander walking around the River Run, and I'll corner him for an interview or something. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to seeing Joe Klein. I'm looking forward to getting away for a couple days. I hope I can get back in time for the gig. There's been like flight cancellations and stuff coming back into San Francisco because during the weekend they're doing some construction at the airport, so a lot of people's flights get canceled. I'm taking a chance by doing this, but I'm going to think positive and assume I'm going to get back in time for the Butlers gig. Butlers are playing with Gamma. Remember Gamma? I should probably pull out a Gamma album and do a vinyl track of the week. Maybe I will do that tonight. We'll see. I got a lot of music I was thinking about playing, but I might call an audible and go climb up in the top shelf there and see if I can find my Gamma records. Gamma, supposedly, Ronnie Montrose is not in Gamma anymore, but this guy, Davey Patterson, I think he was the singer, he specifically requested the Butlers support them. We're playing in Redwood City on Saturday, so if you're around, come see me, my friends. Use the code word I love Michael Butler, and I'll give you a beer out of my stash, I'll give you a beer out of my stash. All right, let's start off the show with some music. This is brand new from Rhino Bucket. The album's called The Last Real Rock and Roll. This is called Hello Citizens.
citizens, gather around. I got something to say, so hear me now. I was just another kid on the street of life. I was just another reason to be left behind. I couldn't take it anymore, it never stopped. Looking up from the bottom to the top. There's nothing here, just an old radio, but the music blaring was saving my soul. Hello citizens, gather round. It's a revolution, join us now. So I got myself a rockin' band, took to the road, living in a van. So many people, so many lives, just a heart in this world survive. Every single night, every single day, every single time, this is what I say. Hello citizens, gather round. It's a revolution, join us now. Hello citizens, hear me now. Start a revolution, we'll show you how. Hello citizens, raise the flag. Join the revolution. Make your stand. Hello citizens, gather round. It's a revolution. Join us now. Hello citizens, hear me now. Start a revolution, we'll show you how.
There you go. Brand new Rhino Bucket. That sounds pretty fucking good. Now, pardon my language. That sounds pretty darn good. It sounds pretty bloody well good. All right. I'm going to have to listen to the rest of that album. That's a good riff. Rhino Bucket. Little AC/DC sound. They've always have been, but they do it probably better than just about anybody. All right. Why don't we thank some people who donated to the show? The most important people, well, I'm not going to rip off my good friend Dave Slusher. He says the most important part of the show, this is not the most important part, but it is a very much appreciated part of the show. I would like to thank everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Let me see if I can find some music to play in the background. Just got this, and I have not heard it yet. Brand new Juliana Hatfield. Let's see the background here. Juliana. The album's called Pussycat. Not too bad. There are several ways you can donate to the show. By the way, without your donations, this show would die a horrible, future, stench-filled death, as you know. Your donations are much appreciated. And donate how much you think the show is worth. That's called the value for value model, like my hero Adam Curry says. If this show is worth nothing to you, fuck it. Don't donate. If this show is worth a lot to you, hey, donate a lot. All right. So there's several ways you can donate to the show. One, if you don't have any money, you can just go to rockandrollgeek.com and click the Amazon link and just buy something on Amazon. I'll get a kickback. That's appreciated. Or you can go to patreon.com/RNRGeek, like Rishi Gajria, also known as Chili Monk from the Good Clean Fun. He donates $5 every episode on Patreon. Thank you, Chili Monk. This is nice. I like this. Ken Kennedy, thank you for the $5 on Patreon every episode. Chiaki Hinohara of the Metal Moment podcast and the Japanese Metalhead show, and one of my best friends and somebody who I really love a lot. He donates $5 every episode. Thank you, my friend Chiaki. I went, might as well tell this story. I went out turkey hunting for the third year in a row. Never have got a turkey. I went with the bow and arrow, but this last week I went out turkey hunting, and by God, I got a damn turkey. I could not believe it. Well, Chiaki came over on Sunday and helped me eat some of that turkey. I made turkey schnitzel with part of the breast, and it was fantastic. Tonight I used the leg and thigh. I put it in the crock pot all day, and I made turkey carnitas, which was Hank Shaw's recipe. Very delicious. This thing doesn't taste like turkey at all. It tastes more like beef or pork. It's really, really good. But I could not believe I got that turkey, man. Sliced his neck with a bow and arrow. First thing I've ever gotten with a bow and arrow. If you're an animal rights person, I apologize, but that is the ultimate farm to table, going out and killing your own food. I also got my first halibut, or my first actual fish on the saltwater, from saltwater on the kayak. I got a halibut, so I cooked halibut and wild turkey, and Shockey helped me eat it. Thanks again, Shockey, for the donation. Brian Springer donates $5 every episode from Patreon. Thank you, Brian. My good friend, Man Podcast mentor, and co-host of Mad at Daddy, Dave Slusher of the Evil Genius Chronicles, $5 every episode. Betty Wood, thank you for the $3 every episode on patreon.com/RNRGeek. All right, what else we got? When You're a Star. Thank you, Dan P., for the $2 every episode on Patreon. Thank you, Mario Zoth, Zothy9 on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page that I didn't start, but I do maintain and accept people if they want to join. Thank you, Bruce McMillan, for the $2 every episode on Patreon. Thank you, Matthew Hunt, fellow kayaker, for the $2. Thank you, Eric Stowell, for the $2. Thank you, Robert Harvey, for the $2. Thanks to John Richardson for the $1. And finally, Corey Kohler, thank you for the $1 every episode on patreon.com/RNRGeek. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you guys and girl. What else we got here? Good enough for me. How's that sound? You can also donate on PayPal. Go to rockandrollgeek.com and click the PayPal link, friends and family membership. I like this. Last year, my second favorite album of the year was Paul Westerberg and Juliana Hatfield. They were the I Don't Knows. Let me find my PayPal donor list. Thank you to Douglas Free for the $5. I think Douglas Free's a new donor. Thank you, Douglas Free. I really appreciate it. Jeff Thielalicky for the $10. Thank you, David Ivy, for the $5. Thanks to Paul Fondry for the $10. Thanks to Sigmund Heidacher for the $5. Thanks to Adrian Boschon, Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page and the forums, which are no longer really that active. Thanks to John Tennis for the $5. Thanks to Michael Street for the $5. Thanks to Dave Franco for the $10. Thanks to Greg Long for the $5. Thanks to Jeff C.A. for the $5. Thanks to James Vinners for the $10. Thanks to Dean Gillespie for the $5. Thanks to Eric Lentz for the $5. Thanks to Kelly Mitchell for $5. Thanks to Elodie Johns, my first girlfriend, for the $20. Thanks to Douglas Free again, donated again this month. So twice so far in a month for another $5. Thanks, Douglas Free. I really appreciate it. What else we got here? Short-fingered man.
He's sweating heavily, but she can't feel the heat. No electricity.
Thanks to Vincent Creamy. Vincent Creamy? That could be wrong. I apologize if I'm misspelling your name. I put this in the notes on the Apple, and sometimes it auto-corrects the spelling. So if I'm misspelling your name, I apologize, Vincent. Thank you for the $10. Thanks to Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name, for the $2. My favorite album last year was possibly Deborah Dreyfus's album.
And with the business and
if that's not her real name. Thanks to Richard Strom for the $5. Thanks to Dale Roller for the $5. Thanks to Andrew Howe for the $5. Thanks to Thomas Olson for the $5. Thanks to Jero Carroll for the $5. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10. What else we have here? Touch You Again. Thanks to, where was I here? I lost my place. Thanks to Jason Shepard for the $10. Thanks to Kelly Mitchell again. He or she donated another $5. Thanks to Christopher Del Grande for the $5. Thanks to Douglas Free again for the third time in a month he donated $10. Thanks Douglas Free. I really appreciate it. Thanks to my friend and friend of the show, Todd Cunningham, for the $10. Thanks to John Offenlach for the $5. Thanks to Lassie Satvighagen for the $2. Thanks to Jeffrey Canaparoli for the $2. Thanks to Stephen Mascord for the $5. Thanks to Bradley Lisco for the $10. Thanks to John Skiller for the $2. Thanks to Brett Garsky for the $5. Thanks to friend of mine and friend of the show, Ralph Miller, for the $10. Thanks, Ralph Miller. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you. And I will be contacting you soon about some Giants tickets. Thanks to Craig Vasiloff for the $5. Thanks to Bradford Page for the $2. Thanks to Chris Stanley for the $10. Thanks to Dave Jackson in the School of Podcasting for the $10. Thanks to Michael Mack for the $2. And finally, thanks to Paul Shanahan for the $20. Thanks to everybody who donated. Your donations are very much appreciated, friends. If you like the show and you think it's worth it to you to donate, I would much appreciate it. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled, getting beat up by bikers at the Laughlin River Run for accidentally looking at somebody who they thought you was their girlfriend and they beat the shit out of you. Kind of death. All right.
never gonna touch you again. He's never gonna touch you again.
I take a sip of this fine Tecate to everybody who donated. Once again, I'm going to finish up my third Tecate or second Tecate of the day.
Give it away if you ever want to, but it's not something he can take from you.
have to give this Juliana Hatfield a good listen because I'm liking it the more I hear it. All right. I think I have some audio comments. Let's see here.
Hi, Michael Butler. Jason Smith here.
Hey, Jason
going
Smith.
back home to Kentucky from Indianapolis. Last night I saw Cheetah Chrome and Johnny Blitz, former members of the Dead Boys, united together for the 40th anniversary of the Young, Loud, and Snotty
Wow,
album.
it's been that long? Wow.
And that's Cheetah is playing guitar, Johnny Blitz on drums, and they've got this kid, Jason Kotwitz, I think his name was. He's an Austin guy. He also plays in MOD, and he's played with Sylvain. They had Ricky Rat, former guitar player of the Trash Brats from Detroit, playing bass, playing a P bass.
Did they do the album top to bottom?
The singer was a fellow named Jake Hout, who's kind of like a stand-in guy for Stiv Bators, really. He's, from what I understand, a Bay Area guy. He's from a band called Alter Defay and another band called Everything Must Go.
I've never heard of either
another one
of
called The
those.
Dibbies. I believe he's from right there in the Bay Area.
Never heard of any of them.
It seemed like he has kind of a history of playing goth music and also punk as well. He captured the Stiv thing pretty well, I thought, but I couldn't help but think he looks like Michael Monroe with black hair. Everything about him was, he reminded me of Michael Monroe, and which is cool because Michael Monroe and Stiv Bators were actually, really close friends back in the day. So, anyway, they opened up the set with Sonic Reducer. They basically played Young, Loud, and Snotty all the way from beginning to end.
Oh, good.
And then they played some material off of We've Come For Your Children.
I like that one too.
Son of Sam, Third Generation Nation. I think they played that one too. All old stuff. This is actually my second time seeing Cheetah Chrome. It was very different. This Jake Hout guy was such a good frontman. To be honest with you, I forgot that Cheetah Chrome was even up there playing.
That's great because
and that was John.
Because Cheetah Chrome is not exactly. Well, I have nothing bad to say about Cheetah Chrome. I saw the Dead Boys play when they reunited a long time ago at the Metroplex, and it was a little bit disappointing. But I haven't seen Cheetah Chrome play in a long time. But he was not really frontman guy.
It's on drums. He kind of the singer definitely stole the show and channeled that old Dead Boys vibe quite well. And I thought you might be interested in some of the name drops. I know that when you lived in Indianapolis with Stevie Stiletto, you probably know a lot of these people here. So some of the oldest punk rockers ever are from Indianapolis. It was a birthday bash for Marvin P. Goldstein, a.k.a. Jewy Ramone, and he started out as a manager of the Gizmos, and that had Rich Coffey on guitar, he went on to play with Jeff Dahl. I played with Jeff Dahl.
I don't know if you know. Hold on, I'm interrupt. I apologize for interrupting, Jason. I lived in Indianapolis for a little while in Stevie Stiletto. This guy Bill Levin was our manager, who was a fixture on the music scene in Indianapolis, the Broad Ripple area. And we stayed at his house, and we trashed his house. He could not wait to get rid of us. Our drummer, Rob, just destroyed shit, and we were not very good house guests, to say the least. But there's a fondness in my heart for Indianapolis. Had some good times there, and lots of adventures.
Ago. He also played with Lisa Lombardo, who I believe is from the Gargoyles.
I know Lisa Lombardo quite well. She was actually living with Stevie Stiletto's drummer, Dan, in San Francisco. Back it up, because I don't know, but he said here.
Out as a manager of the Gizmos, and that had Rich Coffey on guitar, he went on to play with Jeff Dahl. I played with Jeff Dahl a few years ago. He also played with Lisa Lombardo, who I believe is from the Gargoyles in the Bay Area. You might remember them from the 90s.
I know Lisa Lombardo quite well.
And but anyway, so Marvin was the manager for Rich Coffey's old band, the Gizmos, and they recently had a reunion gig too last year. Sorry, I'm kind of like confused here. I'm a little bit hungover.
So am I. No, I'm not hungover, but I'm confused.
Honestly. Also on the bill were the Zero Boys.
Oh yeah. I know Tufty from Zero Boys and Toxic Reasons. They actually, Tufty kind of saved Steve Sletto's life. We rolled into Indianapolis completely broke, and he made us food, and he kind of saved us.
Their album Vicious Circles,
yes.
In its entirety, old punk rockers, the surviving members. Out of those guys, the only one I know the drummer Mark. I met him on a couple of my indie trips before. Also in attendance was Bill Levin, which I've heard you talk about him on the show. He's now marijuana advocate or something.
Yes,
I see him on Facebook all the time, and he's somewhat of an indie punk legend like Marvin as well.
Exactly.
Jim Wren came down from Detroit.
I know that name.
Listeners too, Jim Wren.
Oh, Jim Wren, the guy. Jim Wren sends me a CD every month. He makes a mixtape every month, and I'm on his list. And every month I get a CD from Jim Wren. I love that guy.
With I-94 Records, and I think they might have even put out a zine or had a web zine, I-94 Mag or something like that.
Who's who?
I've run into him at 2 indie shows so far. He's really, really nice guy. I don't know if he's still putting out music or not. I didn't ask. Who else was
monthly
there?
Compilation.
Troy Toma, the original drummer for the Trash Brats, who lives in Iowa now. I can't remember if you were a Trash Brats fan or not.
I don't know.
But anyway, so there was that. I did not catch the opening band because I had to come up from Kentucky, and I was not able to get a lot of time off from work, so I had to drive straight up. It took about 3 hours. Had dinner. So unfortunately, I just caught the Zero Boys and the Dead Boys show. So that was about it. The Dead Boys are on the road. I'm calling them the Dead Boys. That's pretty much what they are. They're going to be playing Milwaukee tonight, which is, what day are we on? Saturday, April 22nd. And tomorrow they're going to be in Chicago. Don't remember the name of the venue. And then they're going to be playing 4 or 5 shows in Ontario. So most of the dates of this leg are going to be in Canada. And I would strongly suggest to any listener, I paid $12 for the show, $12 well spent. Kick-ass show, especially for those of kind of my demographic. I'm only 40 years old, which is, I'm the same age as the Young Loud Snotty album, so I was not able to see the real Dead Boys. So this is kind of how I imagine it to be, something like that, a pretty good facsimile of it. And although 2 of the members are ancient and the rest of them aren't, but anyway, thought I'd leave you a comment there, and have a good weekend.
I'm gonna have to, if they come out to San Francisco or the area, if I know about it, I'm gonna have to go check out the Johnny Blitz and Cheetah Chrome. That sounds like a fun time, Jason Smith. You too can leave me an audio comment. You can do like Jason Smith did and just record it on your phone and then just email it to me to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Or you can just call area code 706-621-ROCK. That's area code 706-621-7625. I've been having a little bit of trouble with the Skype call-in. Some people have said they've called and it just hangs up on them, so I apologize for that. They just updated it and Microsoft bought it, and they deleted your personal voicemail greetings. And not too happy with it, but if you want to call that one, you can. But it's probably easier just record it on your phone and just email it to me. All right, why don't we play some Dead Boys in honor of the 40th anniversary of Young, Loud, and Snotty?
I don't need your company, 'cause like you I'll come for free. I don't really wanna dance, girl, I just wanna get in your pants.
There you go, Dead Boys. Great, great. Both those albums are quality albums. If you don't have those, you should definitely have them in your collection. I guess I'm looking for the word.
Michael, this is Steve Wagner in Los Angeles. I'm still listening to the Dog Days of podcast.
Wow, you're behind,
I'm so
Steve.
behind. Someone has probably already filled you in on this little handful of details about Alice Cooper.
Huh.
You were talking about the Dennis Dunaway book and Me, Alice.
Okay. Oh,
There's
yeah.
actually
He's listening to the Dog Days, which is a thing that every day in August, the month of August, a bunch of podcast nerds do a show a day for 30 days. And one of the days, I was listening to the audiobook of Dennis Dunaway. His book is called Snakes. What is it? Snakes, Guillotines, something like that. It's a great book, and that's what he's referring to. So he's telling me, I don't know what he's telling me. I'll let Steve tell me himself.
and Me, Alice. There's actually two.
Wait a second. Hold it. Back up a little bit. I apologize, Steve.
You were talking about the Dennis Dunaway book and Me, Alice. There's actually two other books by Alice or about Alice.
There's the I know the Michael Bruce book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, and that's pretty much a bitter book written by Michael Bruce. That's the only one I know about.
One was by Circus Magazine. You undoubtedly seen that one.
No, I have not.
The paperback.
I have not. No, I haven't.
Circus did one on Elton John, and I think they did another one on Bowie. But I think that Alice one was the first. And then there was a book called $1 Billion Babies, and that was by Bob Greene, who used to write for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Now, I could be wrong, but Bob Greene might have wrote Me, Alice with Alice Cooper, too. I could very well be wrong about that, but that name sounds familiar. I'm going to have to check that book out. If anybody has that, please don't send me that, because that would just be wrong, but I'd love to read that.
Good writer, and that's a book, big fat paperback, a big fat hardcover, which I really regret ever getting rid of because you can't even find it anymore.
There you go.
In any form. But it's about their final tour as the original band and how things were just unraveling.
I would love to read that book. There's a great movie. Dennis Dunaway hates this movie. Good to See You Again, Alice Cooper. He hates it because he thinks it's a complete piece of shit. It's a combination concert movie and then acting stuff in it. It's like goofy bits that they did, but I thought it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. It's filmed during the concert footage is from that $1 Billion Babies tour, and man, the show is great. I don't know if there was turmoil going, and now that you mention it, I hope this is not boring people, but there's a scene in that movie. You talk about turmoil and how they were not happy and stuff. Well, where Michael Bruce jumps down onto Alice Cooper's back, and it looks like he's really wanting to fight Alice Cooper. And now that you're mentioning it, at the time I thought it was just cool theatrics they were doing, but maybe he was really trying to fight Alice. But it's a great concert footage. Alice provokes the audience, and a guy in the audience wants to kill Alice Cooper. It's a good movie. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look for that book, $1 Billion Babies. That sounds like a good one.
I don't know if anybody's filled you in on that. They're great reads if you can get them. And if you can I borrow it?
Well, I'll tell you this, Stephen L.A. Me, Alice, if you don't have Me, Alice, I put it as bonus content on the Rock and Roll Geek iPhone app and Android app. And I just recently changed over the app because I was having technical issues, and Libsyn changed it over. So I might have lost all the bonus content on the app. But for you, Steve, in LA, I'm going to put Me, Alice, a PDF version of Me, Alice, on the iPhone, Rock and Roll Geek iPhone and Android app. this episode, just go to the bonus content. I think the app costs $2. That's the least they'll let me charge. It's a minimum of, I have to charge. Libsyn makes the app, and they don't let me give it away for free. But the cheapest I can get, I can sell it for is $1.99. So that's what I sell it for, $1.99. But I will put that as the bonus content for this episode. I'll put a link to that. I'll put that PDF on, and for you, Stephen L.A., Me Alice. Me Alice is Alice's autobiography that he wrote. I thought he wrote with that Steve Green guy, or whatever that guy's, whatever his name is that Steve was mentioning about. I'm getting confused with the names. But that's a great book. I read it when I was in 10th grade, and that was when it first came out. I checked it out of the library, of all places. Great book. On the album cover, it had, or not the album cover, on the cover of the book, the dust jacket, it had Alice, I believe it had Alice gargling Budweiser, and it had like foaming out of his mouth. It's a great book. It's very good read for a little 14-year-old kid in high school.
Because I sold my Alice Cooper for my Me Alice for $150 a couple of years back. They go for a lot of money in decent condition. Anyway, keep up the good work and stay frosty.
Stay frosty, Steve. I think Steve calls me
Michael Effin Butler.
Yes.
Hey, happy April 24th, Steve. I'm finally catching up with the Rock and Roll Geek Show right into the year 27.
You must have went on a marathon listening binge. That's very nice, Steve. I appreciate it, friend.
Listening to episode 761, and I just want to...
Oh, you're almost caught up.
Give kudos to you for playing the new Danko Jones. It sounds amazing, and I haven't heard anything new from him since Below the Belt. There's probably been stuff, but I just haven't heard it.
The new album is good.
Kick-ass. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Stephen. Ciao. You too can leave me an audio comment. You can do like Stephen L.A. did. He actually called. Area code 706-621-ROCK. Area code 706... What is my number? Area code 706-621-ROCK. Area code 706-621-7625. Call me now and see if it works. You'll probably get a Skype bot going, "No one is here to take your call. Please leave a message," or something like, or it might just hang up on you like it did for people who emailed me. All right, what do I still haven't? I have some notes here. Let me look at my notes. Styx to release first studio album in 14 years. The Mission in June. Let's see here. Is there a song? Video for Gone, Gone, Gone single is streaming. Let's see if we can hear that. Brand new Styx. I don't know if I'm going to like this. I got a feeling I'm not gonna. Got some footage of the street. Them coming out of their tour bus. The boys in Styx getting up on stage, loading up the gear. Let's do it, boys. Putting on their gear. The roadies are helping them. They're backstage. Let's get this show on the road. Now, maybe this is an opening tune. Yeah. This is probably what they're going to open up the state fairs or the amphitheater tours with.
Let's get this show on the road.
Not really loving it. It has the Styx sound, but it lacks the super catchiness of some of the Styx tunes.
No one has ever flown into the great unknown.
Not really loving that. I'm going to pass on it for now. Yeah. Good luck to Styx with their new album. At least kudos to them for putting out a new album. Let's see, what does it say about it? I'll let it play while I'm reading the press release. The planets truly aligned for the mission, and I couldn't be prouder, says vocalist guitarist Tommy Shaw, who co-wrote the album's storyline with Law. Oh, it's a concept album. It's got a storyline. It's our boldest, most emblematic album since Pieces of Eight. Yeah, they all say that. As founding guitarist James J.Y. Young continues, in the 40th anniversary year of our release of our biggest selling album of all time, Grand Illusion, it just seemed truly appropriate to save our new studio album until this year. Needless to say, I'm very excited. It's an utterly adventurous 43-minute thrill ride that chronicles the trials, tribulations, and ultimate triumphs of the first manned mission to Mars in the year 2033. Oh boy. It's a concept album. From the hopeful drive of Gone, Gone, Gone to the stargazing machinations of Locomotive to the rough drive. Okay, enough of that. All right, well, good luck to Styx. They're putting out an ambitious concept album. All right, I think I'm going to do a listening with Butler now. Do I want to do a listening with Butler, or do I want to do a vinyl track of the week? I think I want to do a vinyl track of the week. See if I can find my little vinyl track of the week intro here.
And now, it's time for the Rock and Roll Geek Vinyl Track of the Week.
All right, okay. Well, as I said, I was going to call an audible, and I was going to pull out some Gamma since the Butlers are playing with Gamma on Saturday. The only Gamma album I have is Gamma 1. I really don't remember how this album sounds at all. On the cover, it kind of like looks similar to a Hypnosis type cover. I thought Hypnosis might have done it, but they didn't. The album cover was done by, I'm pulling out the sleeve here. So on the front cover, it says Gamma and then little number 1. And it's got a picture of, like, you know how those the visible man or the visible woman, and it shows their blood veins and stuff. Well, it's got like a man and it's either a man or it's half man. On one side is a man. The other side is a woman, at least the face. And then the body is reversed. On the body of the man is a woman's naked body, and the body of the woman is a man's naked body. And before he gets to the boobs, you see the veins and stuff inside, and so it's like the visible man. That's the front cover. And on the back it has the band. Ronnie Montrose is in it, and the other guys, I don't know, let's see who's in it. Ronnie Montrose on guitar, Jim Alcavar on, I don't know if that's pronouncing it right, on synthesizers, Davey Pattison on vocals, who is actually still in the band when we're playing with him. He requested the Butlers open for him, so that was nice. Alan Fitzgerald on bass and Skip Gillette on percussion. I still had the inner sleeve for this thing. This thing came out in, looking here, came out in, I'm going to guess 81. No, it came out in 1979. I was almost 18 years old when this came out. I think I bought it when it came out too. It looks like it's in pretty good condition. That may or may not be a good thing. It could mean that I didn't really like the album. I don't remember how the album sounds, so I'm just going to put the first track on, which is called Thunder and Lightning, written by Ronnie Montrose and Davey Pattison. 4 minutes and 34 seconds. It's a little bit long. What's on side 2? Solar Heat 309. I'm going to just play the opening track. Why not? Fuck it. All right, let me turn it up. Let me open this channel. Channel 7 on the mixer of the turntable. Let me see if I can drop the needle. Drop the needle here. What's it called? Thunder and Lightning. I like it so far. So I said the album cover looks a little like Hypnosis. It's actually done by Mick Haggerty, album art and design by Mick Haggerty for Versalis Neoplastics. standing up that well.
I don't mind you being around every night and every day. But if you're gonna mess around with mine, you'd better stay well out of my way. I'm not the kind of guy who can fight up by nature, and you should know that well enough by now. But this thing is different, don't you be so persistent, or you're gonna find out right now. The thunder and lightning's gonna come down on you if you don't leave my woman alone. Thunder and lightning's gonna strike it down if you try to bring down my home. I don't mind you being around every night and every day. But if you're gonna mess around with my little woman, you'd better stay well out of my way. You know, I'm not the kind of guy who's a fighter by nature, and you should know that well enough by now. But this thing's different, don't you be so persistent, or you're gonna find out right now. The thunder and lightning's gonna come down on you if you don't leave my woman alone. Thunder and lightning's gonna strike it down if you try to bring down my home. Listen to me. Thunder and thunder, lightning, thunder and lightning. Yeah, yeah. Thunder and thunder, lightning, thunder and lightning. Gonna get you out. Coming to you right now. Thunder and lightning.
All right, there you go. Thunder and Gamma 1, Thunder and Lightning. Lift it up here. I'm sure there's better songs on the album. I hope Davey Patterson doesn't listen to this episode and think I'm trashing Gamma and boot us off the bill. So please don't send him any emails because I don't need any more shit to happen from things that stupid things I say on the podcast. I would appreciate it. All right, Gamma. Still have the album. Remember it like it was 1979. All right. One more audio comment.
Ultimate Authority.
Up, back it up here. Back it up. Hello, caller.
Hey, Butler, this is Carl Creeping Death
Hey,
Reedy
Carl.
from Jacksonville, Florida.
Carl Reedy, good friend of mine from the deep south of Jacksonville, Florida. Old rock and roll friend of mine.
There at the House of Blues over the weekend for a show. It was a Metal Fest with Prong, Sepultura, and Testament.
Yeah, maybe people may or may not know, I auditioned for Prong right after Exodus. Right after Exodus got dropped and we broke up for a while. I flew out to New York and auditioned for Prong, and I thought I did pretty well, but as you know, I did not get the gig.
And started off with Prong. They had a short set list,
Tommy
but
Victor.
all killer songs. Ultimate Authority started off, Beg to Differ, Unconditional, Cut and Dry, Another Worldly Device, Whose Fist Is It Anyway?
He took notes.
Snap
I
Your Fingers,
appreciate
Snap
that,
Your
Tom.
Neck, and
Carl
ended
Reedy.
up with Sense of Ease. And the next band up was Sepultura, and there was one word for them. Gay.
I take it he didn't like Sepultura.
Anyway, they had no original members. And,
No, wait a minute. No original members at all? Not even one guy?
Didn't sound anything like the Cavaro brothers, or however you
Cavallero
pronounce
brothers.
their name. But yeah, gay. So we'll just skip over
And I
them.
don't think he
and,
means it in a homosexual way.
The headliner, which was Testament.
Yes.
And they led off with something off the new album, Brotherhood of the Snake.
Yes.
Then they did a little Rise Up. The Pale...
The Butlers actually opened for Testament at the Fillmore in San Francisco, believe it or not. It was Testament, Overkill, and the Butlers. And the Butlers, for a cover band, the Butlers went over surprisingly well.
Centuries of Suffering, Electric Crown, Into the Pit,
Yeah.
Low, Throne of Thorns, Stronghold, Eyes of Wrath, First Strike is Deadly.
I don't know any of these, or else I'd be
I don't know how
singing
to
them.
pronounce this one. That's some funky Chinese word, Urasuki, or something like that.
Okay.
Then there's Souls of Black, Seven Seals, The New Order. And the encore was Practice What You Preach.
Yes.
And Over the Wall ended it up. But it's a great metal fest. I wish they had them in Jacksonville like every weekend. But yeah, that's my review, and I'm sticking to it.
I appreciate it. Good quality on
All
that
right,
phone.
man. Later.
I'll talk to you later, Carl Reedy. Carl Reedy recorded it on his phone. Yeah, you can record it on your phone and email it to me like Carl Reedy did. That's good quality. Just email it to rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Sounds a lot better than the phone calls, than the Skype in number. All right. Thank you for leaving the audio comments. I really appreciate it. Without your audio comments, I wouldn't have a show this week. Whew. All right. You want to do a listening with Butler? Let's see. Somebody sent me an email. Do I have the listening with Butler intro? Let me see if I can find it. It's listening time for listening with Butler.
It's time for Listening with Butler.
There you go.
A waiter.
All right.
And that isn't a waiter, my dear, that's a butler.
Well, I can't yell, "Oh, Butler," can
Yeah,
I?
you can.
Maybe somebody's name is Butler.
That's right. Could be.
You have a point. An idiotic one, but a point.
With Michael Butler from the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
All right. Jesse Dinos, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name. He suggested this. Listen, brand new Vein. Joel from Featherwitch, and he sometimes plays with the Butlers too, is in Vein. I don't know if he's playing on this album or not. Vein has a new album called Rolling with the Punches, and I have not heard it. But we're going to play the title track here. I'm going to give... never heard it. Going to give you my grade on it. Brand new Vein, Rolling with the Punches.
Testify
New Vein. The production, a little thin on the production, but the song's pretty good. I like it. Something about that guy. I don't know much about Vane other than Joel plays in the band, but pretty catchy tune. I kind of like that guy, Davey Vane. He's something about him. He's kind of silly, but something about him I kind of like. So I'm giving that one a +1. All right, brand new Vane. What else do I have? I think I'm about ready to wrap this thing up because I got to get up early in the morning, get ready to. Pardon me, bourbon was fine. To get ready to fly out to Laughlin for the river run. Brian, my son, has a American Express card, and he's let me use his American Express card. And I'm going to get to the airport a little bit early because they have a lounge there, and you get to eat and drink for free. And I went with him last one when we went to see Martina. We stopped off in the lounge, and the food was really good. So I'm going to get there a little bit before lunchtime and eat and drink. Might as well start drinking early since it's free. All right. What else do I have to talk about? I don't have any notes here. Oh, I want to say get well soon to Rick Brewster from the Angels. Angels guitarist Rick Brewster hospitalized. I don't remember who sent me this. It could have been Colin Gray, Rock Brat. The Angels guitarist Rick Brewster has been hospitalized with an infection and is receiving intravenous antibiotics, forcing the band to cancel their weekend shows. Good luck to Rick Brewster. Angels, as you may or may not know, one of my favorite bands of all time. So let's hope Rick Brewster pulls through this. We've already lost Doc. I hate to lose Rick Brewster, too. Anything else? Okay, I'm going to close out the show. This is an email I got from Michael Street. Hey, Michael, I really liked the Darkness album Hotcakes when it came out, and don't know if you're aware, they had a track with Ian Anderson as a B-side. He's referring to the last episode I did, besides the Jeff Whalen from Czar, the Lost Interviews, but the one that I did before that was, I believe that was Will It Hold Up? Jethro Tull Aqualung, and by the way, it did hold up. He knows I like that album, so he sent me this and said that Ian Anderson is on one of the bonus tracks of Hotcakes, and that's what I'm going to close out the show with. I'm a little disoriented. I'm on like the 5th or 6th Toccata. Let me finish this one here. Thank you for listening, friends. I really appreciate it. I can't promise that all the shows will be good. As a matter of fact, I can promise that most of them will not be great. But one thing I can promise is they will be honest, and I'm on. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, just fuck it. Here's the darkness. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. You can find this show at rockandrollgeek.com. Thank you for the donations, friends. Please keep the donations coming. Without your donations, this show would die a horrible, putrid, stench-filled death. That's enough ways to reach me. I'm going to bring my recording device. I'm going to probably bring this little... I'm either going to bring this Zoom H4n, or I'm just going to bring I'll probably just bring the... one of the Adderalls. Maybe Joe Klein and I will do a little talking into the Adderall from the hotel room. Maybe I'll do a live bootleg of Cheap Trick. All right. Thanks for listening, friends. Oh, I forgot to talk about one more thing. Somebody sent me this clip of the Descendants doing a new Descendants song. I'm going to play a little bit of new Descendants song. They're jumping on the We Hate Trump bandwagon. An easy target, but I like the song. The song's a catchy song. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save the Michael Street song, the Darkness Hotcakes. The song is called... What's the song called from the Cannonball? I'll play I'm going to close out with this Descendants tune. Then I'm going to let the train wreck roll, and then as a bonus, I will play Cannonball. Okay? Does that make sense? Well, just let the show roll, and maybe it will make sense. I'm going to back this up. Brand new Descendants called Who We Are. Jumping on the Trump hate bandwagon, which I'm not going to say whether I like or hate Trump. I don't want to hear a song. I don't want to jump on the I hate Hillary Clinton bandwagon songs or the I hate Trump bandwagon songs. Okay, but it's a catchy tune. I have no idea what I'm saying, friends. Scratch that. Here's the Descendants.
Immigrants and groping girls. There's nothing American about us now. A whole population driven underground. But I still believe in our democracy. Once and all, it's to the land of the free. So take it outside, shout it loud as you can. Defend the rights of every woman and man. That's who we are. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Hey, can't you feel it? Getting real. That's who we are. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Can't you feel? Can't you feel? In times like this we ought to stay together, but they just pitted us against each other. Just give it some time though and you will see that we all have a common enemy. It's the man who says it's okay to hate, but we know that hate will destroy this place. So right now I'm asking you to join our side and take a stand to fight for what's right. That's who we are. Straight different. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Can't you feel it? Getting real. That's who we are. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Can't you feel? Can't you feel it? Getting real. Woke up this morning to an ugly place. The scum rising from a masturbating race. There's nothing American about us now, and we've forgotten what we're all about. Cause I still believe in our democracy and equal rights for every race and creed. So take it outside, shout it loud as you can. We won't let sexism or bigotry stand. That's who we are. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Can't you feel? Can't you feel? That's who we are. That's how I feel. That's who we are. Can't you feel? Can't you feel it getting real? Can't you feel? For the world, for the tired, poor, huddled, war torn. We're not a rock. We're not an island. We have a role to play to make people's lives better every day. That's who we are. That's how I feel. We're taking over. How I feel.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.